So let me start. You are right.
Yes.
At the end, what happened and how he invented the bulb. While he was child, he was studying in the school. One day he came home very jubilant, stating that, "Mom, my teacher gave me this particular letter." Mom opened that letter and she did not say anything. After some time, she just mentioned that your teacher is praising you. Then she took entire life to teach his son at home. And after that teaching process, he became homeless advisor. But when his mother died, he opened that letter. It was written that your child is mentally not stable. We cannot teach him. He's a special child. Send him to some other school. So it's salute to that mother who made a mentally challenged child with homeless advisor. So that's what I want to say, that it's not about a scientist right now, a mother of a scientist who had to burn herself to make a scientist out of a very abnormal child. So I will conclude that this story or this particular quote from Mr. APJ Abdul Kalam is very relevant in every aspect, not for an individual, but all the associated people with that individual.
Someone from the guest for the back.
You can.
Just name. Name. What is the name?
It's okay.
You should try it. It's fine.
Try this.
This answer name.
My name is Dadasaheb Pai. Real growth of a country is in the mind, bodies, and soul of young men and women of the country. C.V. Raman. I think it's all depend on our real youth. If our mindset is really developed through next time I will prepare.
No, we can try.
We are with you. You will listen. Go ahead.
You can do this.
Whatever you want to share.
Thank you.
Or you can share. and-
Whatever you want to
So
share.
much for your support
Let's talk about Chandraya.
to understand.
Talk about your
If
favorite
you change our country, if there is a very important role of our this young woman, young man, or like youth. If you try to change our young generation, then definitely our country will change. It's all depend on our youth. It is very appreciation that our scientist has done such type of wonderful this research, and we appreciate, or we should get something good from such scientists, that everyone has to do, or everyone has to think like in that way. So main important part is to focus our generation, youth generation, then automatically our country will develop in that way. So thank you very much.
Change the topic and try to speak on the same topic, and it was really good. So, somebody from the members,
Sir,
Manish. Dheeraj.
Dheeraj. Failure is not about succeeding, rather, it is about not putting your best efforts. Vikram Sarabhai. With Chandrayaan 3, we all have seen what failure plays a role in one's life. Because Chandrayaan 3 is not the only initiative which took us to the moon. It is about Chandrayaan 1, Chandrayaan 2, and we all saw Chandrayaan 2 as a failure. We all saw how Chandrayaan 2 was about to get landed onto the moon, but suddenly everyone saw that moment when it actually crashed. And our own Honorable Prime Minister was there. And I believe that's what he instilled into not only those scientists by showing that motivation, by patting on the back of the scientists there, telling them failures are nothing but a stepping stone. It's a stepping stone towards the success. I believe one of our member here just mentioned about invention of bulb, right? It took that scientist 1,000 rounds to reach at the final stage of having that bulb, which today we all kind of enjoy. So it's not about the end result, it's also about the journey, the failures, and each failure giving you that courage, giving you that success to kind of reach at the next level. Even if once now we have reached at the moon and Chandrayaan 3 is successful, this is also just a start. So every success and every failure is a stepping stone to achieve something new in the life. Over to you.
You want to go?
Name? Sumit.
A life of joy and happiness is possible only on the basis of knowledge and science. Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. So we all dream, we all wish that that our life should be very joyful. We should be happy in life. I think it's a very fair ask. But to achieve that, so like FOMO to JOMO speech. So sometimes we think that happiness is what others are doing in the spirit of FOMO. We miss out that the real happiness, what we actually want, is through looking within, by expanding your horizon of your knowledge and knowing that what you actually truly want and what actually exists out there. And so there is a lot of knowledge and science that goes to take you to the right path. So a person can take the wrong way if he doesn't know that what's the right path. So he can actually, so let's say he wants to be wealthy, he could choose the wrong means to reach that goal, but that ultimately has many negative effects on the way. So I think, so knowledge and science should be the path you should take to reach to the happiness.
Understood?
So this is the only last one.
Okay, we are done.
I am not handsome, but I can give my hand to someone who needs help because beauty is required in heart, not in face. APJ. Good afternoon, everyone. I am sharing a story that related to Red Fort. One of my friends struggling to find a job in last year. He just recently completed his graduation and he just trying to learn all the codes and languages, but he is not able to crack any interview. So, and his financial condition also not very strong to get all the courses done by the paid institutes. So he is struggling and very uncomfortable to crack any interview. So I helped him by giving guidance and providing a referral in my company under me for an intern. So I helped him by giving an opportunity to be in the job, and he is now permanent employee in my company. So thank you.
Conclude the session of table topics and over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nikhil, for this wonderful table topic section. Now it is time for the evaluation. Are you all excited?
Yes.
Great to hear. Now I would like to invite Toastmaster Ashish, who will be. Sorry. I would like to invite Toastmaster Ankit, who will be taking over the evaluation section. Let us welcome Toastmaster.
So what a wonderful speeches today and table topics. So we'll be having the evaluation section right now. First, I would like to ask Toastmaster Vishal for the grammarian role.
Speak
Okay. So this is the first time I'm doing this. So speech evaluator, Toastmaster Harjinder for Toastmaster Surinder.
So very rhyming speaker, and my name is also Surinder Harjinder. Good afternoon, everyone. 3 is greater than 30. So what do you believe? What the speaker Surinder has shared us? What was the major learning? Can anyone share? What do you like?
Years of experiences.
Message.
Experience
Year
matters.
does not matter. Year does not matter. It matters what you learn. Experience counts.
Experience counts.
And upon each one. Like everybody is God. That was the message.
So I think that what Toastmaster Surinder emphasized, that when we entered in a new world, a new mindset, and it is new mindset for us. He exemplified himself that how he used to believe three years earlier, and now how he is believing. And it takes a lot of courage to share his personal stories, that he was thinking that way and now how he thinks. But again, it is again the process of the learning. As we grow, we learn, and he shared his story, that how he is learning about himself and how he's improving his belief system, and it was great to hear from you, Toastmaster Surendra. Coming on to recommendations, he started with explaining his topic. Maybe it was not required. He could have avoided that. We could have directly maybe summarized your topic from your content. Your content was good, but there was no need to explain in the beginning. So beginning maybe could have been more impactful. You could have started with quote. And you asked questions, around 5 questions, and it was of 2 personalities as well. So maybe you could have simply reduced the questions, or you could have made 2 stories on a situation. One person like this, one maybe similar situations, but one person behaved differently because his belief system was different, and the other person. And the same way you could have used the stage as well. You were continuously moving. Maybe you could have explained one personality at one point and other personality at other point. So these were my recommendations. And overall, I liked your speech, and content was really good, and you inspired us to be reflective on ourselves and how we can challenge our beliefs, and we inspire from you also that you have changed yourself. Similarly, we can change mindset, and I would like to quote the book Mindset also explain the same thing, that how a fixed mindset and growth mindset can help us to become a better version of ourselves. And thank you.
So next evaluator is Toastmaster Gaurav. Will be evaluating Toastmaster Shakti for the second speech.
You can stand over there.
You become what you give your attention to, said by Epictetus. And that's what we learned today from the speech of Toastmaster Shakti. What a great speech. I'm still not out of breath. What a great speech. I felt jubilant sitting there and got goosebumps listening to the story she was narrating when she was on the plane and she got down. The objective of the today's speech was to use effective body language. Dream big, true possibilities, voice inside, to get real, the 2 voices she talked about. The dream, infinity pool. I was thinking I'm at Bandravali ceiling today. The positive side of the speech which I really liked was she started with audience interaction. She started asking questions. So Surendra talked about the space dream. I think Chirag talked about taking India out of poverty. So the way she started today's speech was amazing. And then the storytelling, where the grandfather was standing here talking about the 2 voices inside, and the child was asking, is it really fearful? Should I get scared? So I think the storytelling, narrative, the stage coverage, presence, today Toastmaster Shilpi has given a testament to a very nice and very amazing speech, how it should be done. She talked about 2 footballs, dreaming big, get realistic, self-doubt. However, every speech has some or the other recommendation. I have 2. While she was narrating the story, the grandchild had the voice modulation, where he was asking, should I get scared? Voice modulation was there, but I did not, I was expecting the same when the grandfather was talking about that there are 2 wolves. So if you can do that next time, Toastmaster Shilpi, I think that will add value to your speech. And the way you were ending the speech, I was thinking that you will end with a quote, because you almost said something that you have to choose what you should become, but there was a call to action was given, but I think if it would have been ended with a quote, it could have been amazing. So in the end, if Toastmaster Shilpi can work on voice modulation with her audience interaction, storytelling skills, the
kind of gestures, confidence she showcased today, I believe we are going to witness a phenomenal speaker next time. Thank you.
So, what a wonderful evaluation by Toastmaster Gaurav. Next evaluator is Toastmaster Siddharth, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Vivekanand. Fairly welcome, Toastmaster Siddharth.
Our future, our relationship highly depends on how do we respond, how do we react, especially when we are in mental chatter state, when we are talking to ourselves, when we are evaluating any situation. We should be calm, composed and mindful because our thought, our reaction is just like ink and life is just like paper. It may be possible that whatever we are going to write, it could be hard to correct. What a beautiful message from the speaker, Toastmaster Vivekanand, on chatter, mental chatter. So let's talk about positive things. What I liked, usually whenever he comes on the stage, we just feel bounce up and what is it? Jubilant. So let's talk about positive. Positive things is his stage movement was planned with speech. Whenever it was required, it was just moving. Eye contact was very good. That shows the sign of is positive about the speech, about the content. And second thing, detailed knowledge about the speech. I don't know that before that, I didn't know about it, that we think at least 80,000 thoughts in a day. I think at least 20,000 we have finished till morning. So a lot of knowledge. We talked about positive things, stress, worry, and anxiety, and also negative things, and also positive things about how we should be positive, how we should be mindful, how we should be active. So every speech has scope of improvement. Though speaker did very good, but just one point, if he could have been added, then the speech could have been better. And the point is just personal story. If you in the scope of speech, or it is mentioned that he has to share his experience, how he responses in any particular mental chatter status. So personal experience could have been added. Otherwise, the speech was fantastic. With this, I'm handing over the stage to our
Great evaluation by Toastmaster Siddharth. Next, I would like to call Toastmaster Anurag for evaluation of Toastmaster Chirag.
Toastmaster Chirag's speech engaged me and the entire audience the moment he started his speech. So the topic selection was really good, and it was FOMO to JOMO, and the objective of his speech was body language, and he did a terrific job there. His hand gestures was really good. He started his speech by asking questions. That was good. Then he explained about his college story, the FOMO that he feel with his friend, connecting his life with the social media, and then conclusion is also good. Now, if I am talking about commendation, then he shows good hand gestures, showing a good confidence on stage, and also showing a open body language. While he was talking, audience were not feeling that he has closed and he was holding his thoughts back. He is open and explaining things, and I believe he did a good job there. Now come to some recommendations and areas of improvement. So while he was speaking here, I noticed that most of the time he was looking downward and he was like speaking in this moment. So I think it would be better if he is like improve his eye contact with the audience and looking like in both the areas, both the side of where audience are sitting. Also, the second recommendation is poses. Poses were missing. Like he was speaking continuously, one after the other, and like when I was speaking, I was expecting now he's stop for a while and let the content sink in. So there, I think it could be improved. Also, the last recommendation is stage movement. Is he overdoing stage movement? Like if he was speaking here and then he moved here without any reason. He can also complete his sentence standing there only. So these three suggestions from my end. Over to you.
CRC.
So now I will calling Toastmaster Vishal, who is playing the role of grammarian.
Good afternoon, dear Toastmasters and guests. So we had very good speeches today, and like we have very good uses of the language. So I will start with the good uses of the language first. For example, like we had one use, was started, why was out of the world. These are like very good sentences which give a very particular high impact when you did shady activities. Grasp and absorb of positive things. Momentous achievement, believing in possibility, outrageous, voice inside of you, feed the wolf. So we had like very good uses of such things which like help in correlation of the things. Then bombarded with thoughts, phenomena of mental chatter, ideate. Not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. Delicate balance. Then the designer's deep sense of anxiety, obvious gaps, epiphany, hacking your psychology. So all these are very good uses of the language which I saw in the speeches, which is very recommendable. And apart from that, like the word of the day was used 5 times. That is also very good. Like most of the speakers used it. That's a very good thing that was done today. So now coming to the correction parts. So prepared speech, for example, prepared speech was used. It should be prepared speeches. He needs 30 to 35 minutes. So it should be he needs 30 to 35 minutes. All of must should be must be. All of must curious. It was used. It should be must be curious. Okay. Let the question inside for a while. It should be the let the question aside for a while. It should be the question. Let the question be aside for a while. This probably should be there should be probably. So so it was used there probably should be it should be there should be probably. A God was used there that should be the God. And you will meet with the person. It should be you will meet with the person. It shouldn't be like you will meet. It should be you will meet. Okay? And apart from that, who have more experience. So it should be who has more experience. Okay. Which come to mind was used. It should be which are coming to mind. One of the causes. It one of the causes. It should be one of the causes. Okay. I think that's enough. So overall it was very good use of the language, but here and there I found something which would be corrected. So thanks Abhi.
So very detailed evaluation by Toastmaster Vishal. Next, our counter is also Toastmaster Vishal. So happy welcome Toastmaster Vishal.
Good afternoon everyone. Sorry I started again. So second word of the day after jubilant was so today. It was used the most number of times. And I would say otherwise, I initially said that I would be very jubilant if we use as less filler words as possible, but I won't say I'm fully jubilant, but you could say 50-50. So all these speeches were well prepared, nervousness was not seen, and the usage of which usually comes to fill the gaps was not seen, so that was a good thing about today. I would also, as Rome was not built in a day, I would also want to suggest one word for every person who he can start working on. And I would talk also about the other words he has used, but one word I would say that this has been used the most by that speaker. So you can focus on that word. Starting with presiding officer TM Ashish. TM Ashish has used so most number of times, 8 times. 5 are 4 and. TMOD Rahul has done a good job. He has spoken a lot, but he has used so 4 times and well 1 time. General evaluator Ankit has used 3 times. Timer Abhishek has used so 5 times. Evaluator Harjinder, during his evaluation and while he was talking about his speech objective, has used and most number of times, 8 times. So 1 time, 1 time, 1 time. TM Surinder has used and most number of times, 4 times. Now 3 times, 2 times, but 1 time. Evaluator Gaurav has used so most number of times, 3 times, 2 times. TM Shilpi, so most number of times, 6 times and 3 times. Evaluator Siddharth, so most number of times, 7 times, 5 times and 3 times, and there was 1 long pause. TM Vivekanand has used and most number of times, 9 times, so 5. Evaluator Anurag has used most number of times, 6 times, so 4 times and 2 times. TM Chirag and most number of times, 15 times, so 5 times. Table topic master Nitin, so 12 times, mostly, 6 times. TM Abhishek, again, so 8 number of times, 1 time. Guest Ritwik, so 2 times, most, 1 time. Guest Raja, 3 times, so 2 times, I think 1 time. Guest Dheeraj, 1 time. Guest Sumit, so most number of times, 8 times, 4 times and 1 time. The Toastmaster Harsh, mostly 5, so 4, 1. Grammarian Vishal, 4 times and 1 time, so 1 time. Thank you so much. That's one from me.
So very great evaluation by Toastmaster Vishal. Next, our role player is Timer, Toastmaster Abhishek. So happy welcome Toastmaster Abhishek.
Good afternoon, everyone. So now coming to the timing, the meeting is start on time, and few of the members has arrived late. And now, if I look at the time allotted to all the role players and the speaker, Toastmaster Ashish, the presiding officer, the time allotted was 5 minutes, but he has taken 10 minutes. While Toastmaster out, the timing allotted is 15 minutes overall this entire span, and you have taken 70 minutes 30 seconds. While joke master, we have 2 joke masters, one done by Toastmaster and one done by Toastmaster. So the timing allotted for overall 2 minutes, but the entire joke has been completed within 90 seconds. Generally, if I look out, the timing allotted for the in introduction to the tag place and the evaluator was 5 minutes, but it has gone beyond the 70 minutes. Coming to the speeches, can you tell us who has taken the maximum amount of time? Chirag, anyone? Surinder, Toastmaster Surinder. All the time, the speech allotted was 5 to 7 minutes, but all the speakers go beyond 7 minutes. So either everyone qualify or disqualify. All are in the same phase. 5 to 7 and above 7 is the dead zone. Like
After 7.
After 7 years,
See,
7:30 was it?
so in case the selfie will qualify. So otherwise, they can 7:35, 8:30.
Who is disqualified?
No, everyone is qualified. Everyone is qualified. So coming to the topics, I do not know how much time I am taken. Now coming to Toastmasters, it will taken 1 minute 50 seconds. The other side, guest taken 45 seconds. Guest leaders taken 1 minute 50 seconds. Guest Sumit taken 2 minutes of time. Toastmaster has taken 1 minute 40 seconds. Coming to the evaluator, Toastmaster has taken 3 minutes 10 seconds. Toastmaster Gaurav taken 2 minutes 40 seconds. Toastmaster Siddharth taken 2 minutes 40 seconds. Anurag taken 2 minutes 20 seconds. Now coming to the tag players, Toastmaster Vishal Jagane taken 3 minutes 45 seconds. 45 seconds over the time was 3 minutes. Toastmaster Vishal taken 3 minutes 25 seconds over the time was 3 minutes. That's all from me.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhishek. And now I'll be giving my report. Hopefully, I won't be making any more mistakes and misunderstanding. So meeting started at 10:30, which is great. The only suggestion for the Sergeant of Arms is to arrive a little bit early and make arrangements accordingly. The presiding officer, Toastmaster Ashish, has always did a marvelous job. So kudos to him. TMOD Rahul. So he connected well with the audience by that chin and cheeks thing, and some humor like about his friend's wife and that hot Bengali he used. So that was also phenomenal, and group activity was also great. So the only suggestion for TMOD Rahul is to sometimes you are able to convert the Hindi words into English, but sometimes you forget if you are speaking a lot of them. Like you are not able to tell the meaning of mirch masala, apun bhagwan hai. So things like that you should be able to convert each one of them to English. So that's the only suggestion. Then Toastmaster Harjinder, who was the joke master for today, phenomenal joke, and my tummy is still aching. Really a great joke. Maybe because you took the role on spot and you delivered a phenomenal joke, so kudos to you. Then the tabletop master Nitin, he did a great job. Only suggestion is his hand gesture was repeated. He was using only his right hand while he was speaking, which is something I do as well. Then the table topic, the Toastmaster Abhishek, he connected well with everyone by Mangal Mission, a movie I guess, and he started telling a story after that with which he was able to connect very well with everyone. Only suggestion is that your stage movement didn't look very planned, it was quite abrupt, so just try to improve upon that. Then first guest, good speech. Only thing is, while you are asking questions to someone, just try to acknowledge them, take their answers well, and then present your answers. Then guest number 2, Dada Sahib. So I would request everyone to give him a round of applause because this is the first time he was on stage, and he still tried to give his best, so that was wonderful. The only suggestion is that when you are speaking, don't look down or upside, just look at the listeners. So it gives a confidence to you as well as to the listeners. There is a kind of connect which gets established. Then guest number 3, Dheeraj. So good speech, Dheeraj. I don't think he's here, but anyways, he can watch the video. So his hands were like this. His hands were like this. So it is a suggestion for other as well. Just watch where your hands are, because I'm not able to, or any listener is not able to focus on his face. Mostly their attention is taken by the hands. So just try to pay attention where your hands are. So that's the only suggestion. Then guest 4, Sumit. The speech was relevant and very good try. Just look at the listener, same suggestion. Then Toastmaster Harsh, very good try. Same things, your hands were quite tangled, and just give attention to your hands when you are speaking. Then coming to the evaluation of evaluators, Toastmaster Harjinder, great evaluation. You covered every important aspect. Only suggestion is that when you are giving evaluation, don't look just at the speaker, because it appears to the listener as if only 2 people are talking to each other. So just look at the listeners and give suggestions for everyone, because everyone is here to learn. Then Toastmaster Gaurav, great evaluation, stage moment was wonderful. You summarized everything at the end, so no specific suggestion. Toastmaster Siddharth, good evaluation. The only suggestion is to take the pauses at right time and articulate points well, because it seemed that they were quite continuous in nature. Then finally, Toastmaster Anurag, good evaluation. Just only suggestion is your smile or any other expression has to be planned, otherwise it looks very abrupt. So just try to improve upon that. And all the tech evaluators did their job well. With that, I'd like to conclude today's evaluation session.
Everybody got evaluated except the general evaluator. So today's meeting was truly a jubilant meeting. Wasn't it?
Yes.
Louder?
Yes.
Great. So voting link has already been shared with you. I would request all of you to please mark your vote and help us identify the winners for each of the votes. So guests, you can reach out to the members sitting nearby, and you can scan the QR code. So I believe every one of you have marked your vote. How many guests today have first time attended today's meeting? So just we'll take briefly, let us know that how was your experience in today's meeting. Just 1 or 2 liners. I believe you joined in the middle, or would you like to share anything about the meeting?
It was a nice experience.
Okay. What's your name and
My name is Dhairya.
Dhairya? Okay. So you joined the meeting since the beginning, or you joined from?
In the middle.
So request you to please join another meeting which is happening next Sunday. Join the meeting since the very beginning, so that you will understand how the Toastmaster meeting works. Yes.
Actually, this is not my first Toastmasters Club. I had the opportunity to be a part of the Toastmasters Club, as a young child. So I'm aware about the Toastmasters procedures, and I'm going to learn.
Okay. can everybody give their response to voting?
Only 70 response.
So we are left with few more requests. Those who have not marked the vote, please mark it as soon as possible. It will help us identify the winners. Yes.
It was a wonderful experience, and everybody was very supportive. And my first speech, everybody is very professional, and who there was there assigning duties.
Thank you. Please have a seat. So I request all the guests to please reach out to the VP member seat, Toastmaster Rahul. Toastmaster Rahul, can you please stand up? So you can reach out to him. He'll help you understand. He'll help you make you understand about the Toastmaster membership and all. So we have got all the votings. Rahul?
Yes.
Well, as mentioned at the beginning that the orientation program for all the new members is scheduled for tomorrow. And once again urging everyone to please register yourself and attend that program. It's going to be very important for you in Toastmaster journey. We have results ready. So first is the best auxiliary role player award. So 3 role players, Timer, Mahabharata and the Grameen. So who do you think is winning?